Y'all, so I'm gonna refilm this and I'm gonna compare it to another video that I made like of this and see which one I'm gonna post. But basically the title of this video is called hold on, what's the title of this video called? It's called God's Plan. God has better things in store for you, basically. And the reason why I say this is because I had a very important lesson taught to me, right? So basically, to make a long story short, right? One time I was applying for this one job, right? Now, this one job, it wasn't the best. The store was kind of ghetto, but I was desperate, right? So I ended up applying for the job, get accepted for for like an interview. Basically, I didn't even get interviewed, y'all. Like, that's how unprofessional and how desperate they were for workers. Like, she basically was just like, you know what, I'm gonna just show you around the store. Like, not even a fucking interview, just asking me what hours like am I available for. And basically, yeah, like I was just literally hired as soon as I showed up. And yeah, so after that, they basically was like, okay, you're just gonna get an email, you're gonna put your personal information in there, right? Like how you usually do. If y'all know, like if you apply for a job, you know, that's what usually happens after you get hired, right? Except when they sent me this email for their website for the store, because basically the store that I applied to was like a department store. So when they sent me the website, I tried to log on to it and it was like, this is an unsafe website, basically, like da da da. And my phone, like no matter how many times I tried, my phone would not allow me to get into this website. Not only that, but when they sent me the email for orientation, it was basically on a day that I had school. Literally, the time was when I was gonna be in the middle of school, basically. And I was like, bro, like I literally spoke to her saying that I get out of school at like 3 o'clock. And they made like orientation like 12 o'clock. So I'm just sitting here thinking, girl, who in your right mind told you to make that date? Because it's not added up. So I basically email the store manager back and I'm like, yeah, because at the end of the email said if this date didn't work, you could message this email back and basically discuss the new date. So I emailed her basically like, yeah, I'm literally going to be in school and I'm not going to be able to make it. So is there another time and a different date where I'm able to make it? And I never got a response back. Literally. And I was waiting because at this point, y'all, I'm desperate for a job. I'm desperate for anything at this point. So I was waiting. Never got the email back. So I ended up applying to this different job, right? Now, this different job, much better. Still a department store, but much, much better. Much, much more professional. I applied within days. I set up an interview. Once the interview was so nice. The environment was so better. Like, when I went to this other department store that never responded to me, y'all, literally, the environment, like, it was just ghetto. It was trashy. I could already clock 2 people in there, including the person, maybe even 3, because including the person that was interviewing me that had like a little bit of an attitude. Well, she didn't really have an attitude, but you know, some people that just don't really have an inviting sense to them. But literally 2 girls I could already clock had an attitude, and I literally just came in. It was like my first day. They took me to the back of the store, literally so unprofessional. I wasn't even getting interviewed. They didn't even ask me no questions. But this lady at this new department store, she asked me questions. She was very professional with it. I'm talking like hands down, like it was much better than my first job that I worked at and this other job that I applied to work at that never responded. So I'm thinking, oh yeah, this is the one, right? And after a while, it took me a while. And then also like when I was at this new job, basically I was hired, I guess you could say on the spot, except this time I was actually interviewed before I was hired. And basically we were discussing like how much money I was going to get paid or whatever. And when the store manager told me how much money I was going to get paid, it was like quite a decent amount of money for, you know, for me, because I'm experienced. Like, I worked in department stores before. I have experience being a cashier, working at the register. So I'm thinking like, you know, this is a good amount. Like for me having like less than a year of experience, this is a good amount. Like I still have experience. When I was at that other job, which I had experience at, the rate that they was gonna pay me was the same amount I got paid at my other job when I had zero experience. So I was kind of just thinking like I could do better than that. Like even when I told my mom, she was like, I don't want you working over there. Like, cause also when I mentioned the hours that I would possibly be working, which was gonna be like 5 days out of the week, she was literally just like, I don't want you working there. Like, it doesn't seem worth it. It don't seem like they pay you your worth. And I was just like, you know what? It is what it is, because I'm desperate at this point. But thankfully, when I was at this new job and we were discussing how much I was gonna get paid, the lady mentioned amount and it was like pretty good. I'm like, damn, okay. So basically, and I love the environment much more. It's so much more professional. I walked in, zero people had attitude. I'm talking about like none of them had no stink faces. That don't mean they all get along with each other, but at least the work environment, what matters is that their personal attitudes and personalities don't affect the work environment. That's what I love. So basically, to make a long story short, what this video is about is basically God has better things and plans for you. If you're wondering, why isn't this working for me? Why isn't this, you know, I was wondering, why aren't I getting this job? I'm desperate. Like, I need money ASAP. And what I realized is God had better things in store for me. God said, you know what? You did the first part. You went out your way to get a job. Now we're about to bless you with something different. And I start work. My orientation's on Wednesday, so wish me luck. And for anybody that's watching this video, just keep your head up and pray. Pray that things will get better, and I promise you, God or whoever you're praying to, whatever divine being you're praying to, is going to listen to your prayers and answer them. My name's Soraya, and peace.